Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff pitch presented by Phenom. I'm Kyle. That's Mike. We're here to break down Tuesday's 15-game main slate today. So this is becoming a regular, obviously 15-game main slate starting at 7:05 Eastern Time, 4:05 Best Coast Time.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Welcome. Bringing it to you live once again every day. And it's finally May. It's a Tuesday. It's the first Tuesday in May. Can't hate it. Nice to make some money last night after a profitable April. I think I'm ready to step my game up a little bit as far as
Buy-ins.
Buy-ins. Yeah. So
check this out, man.
It's exciting stuff, man.
Fun fact: May rhymes with every day of the week.
It does, man. First Tuesday in May. Tomorrow's gonna be the first Wednesday in May. It's an exciting week.
Then we have Thursday, and the rest of the month, man. It's going to be a rhyming month. Dude, so let's talk about some things that happened yesterday, man. So we killed it again. I know the Slack group did. It's becoming a regular. These guys are killing it. They stay winning. We got, obviously, this. Your pitcher Cole won me some money. Thanks. Once again, Kyle with the pitching spot on. That is what's up, my friend.
Yeah, dude.
So we talked about that Philly stack, man. Tommy Joseph, they just poured it on in the first inning. Aaron Altier goes off. We talked about attacking Brett Anderson. That worked. Amir Garrett, he gave up 3 home runs, I believe. No, he gave up 2. I'm sorry. He actually had a really nice game. He was efficient with his pitches. He didn't have the high strikeout totals we were hoping for. So it wasn't a great DFS day, but I was watching him, man. He was placing his pitches. He was getting some swings and misses. Just wasn't missing the bats on that third strike. But really efficient in his outing, man. I was encouraged the way he rebounded.
Yeah, I agree. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head yesterday. We were talking about, the league kind of catching up to him and his confidence, like which is going to give, And I think we kind of saw a little bit of both yesterday. The league did kind of catch up to his off-speed pitches a bit, but it didn't really let it hit his confidence too much. He still was able to perform well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that continues throughout the course of this young season with him. And then Tommy Joseph, like you said, numbers made sense, but he just hadn't hit one yet. And I think that really is going to take the top off for him. So I'm happy for him. I think that's the reason I haven't been playing him, even if the numbers look good. So I'm glad he finally got that first one.
I was waiting for Keith to get in here. He's in here now. This dude won quite a bit of money last night. He was sitting up top first of the GPP that he was in for the longest time before a home run
late game.
Yeah, and that Met stack. What do we say about that Met stack?
I know we called that. I hope you guys played them,
dude. That is exactly what the number. That's exactly what we talk about when listening to the numbers, man. I'm starting to just throw logic out the window. Logic would have told you Mets are cold. Tehran has done well versus them in his career. Numbers told you play Mets. Bam. Tehran.
Yeah, we hit it. We hit it all the pitching lock and fades too, man. Like, I don't know. Yesterday was a good show for pitching.
Yeah.
So
we and Chen did well. Garrett Cole obviously did well. Lance McCullers, hell of a game. Wish that Astros stack woke up just a little bit before he left the game, unfortunately. But they ended up doing well. And we talked about the only Pirates that did damage yesterday: Josh Harrison, Andrew McCutcheon. We talked about them against him. That was the only 3 that were.
Talked about Enciarte and Freeman. Oh man.
John says you guys called everything yesterday. Hey, you know what though?
Let's get it going, man.
Can't take credit on all these right here. This home run sheet is the money. That's
yeah, dude. It's not only us, man. This is like we come here after a day's worth of work, a day's worth of collaboration, and we just kind of are the faces for the community. So it's not just us that's making it happen and calling these things. It's all you guys. So
in Slack, yep.
It makes it exciting, man.
All right, so we got Arizona, Washington, man. Does Washington slow down today? They are absolutely on fire. I love going against Taijuan Walker. I think he has regressed. So I was a huge fan of his in Seattle. I think he's taken a step back this year, personally. It doesn't help that he's pitching in Arizona, but it's a warm day in D.C. The wind is blowing out to right, meaning left-handed bats. I'm all over Harper and Murphy, man. And Zimmerman, who's been hitting the ball opposite field.
Yeah, this lineup's been crushing. If you look at last 7 days for his right-handed pitching, let's see, I saw the set. It's a 465 WOBA.
Who is
as
this?
a team. Washington has a 465 WOBA as a team versus right-handed pitching over the last 7 days.
Let's see.
It's
465,
pretty damn good.
465, 274 ISO, and only a 17% strikeout rate. They're just not missing anything.
Exactly. So it's just a couple of meatballs. I think, Taijuan Walker is a guy who likes to attack hitters. He doesn't really try and play cat and mouse with the hitters. So there's going to be some balls in the zone today, and I think you can go after the Nats. I really do. I have Turner and Harper as a two-man. That's just kind of a fit in my lineup. But I think you can kind of go wherever it fits. Wherever it fits, I like. Yeah. 1 through 7. 1 through 6 probably better.
Yeah, I don't go to Taylor or Lobatone. I mean, Lobatone's dirt cheap, so you can go there if you want to. I personally won't go there. I love another catcher that's a little cheaper. Are we attacking Tanner Roark? Not a home run pitcher. Really, look at the hard contact over the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
This guy.
Again, this is the opposite. This is a guy that will play cat and mouse with you.
Yep.
Does try to pinpoint the ball, get you to swing at a pitch that you can't drive. I think you can. I think
I see Jake
Lamb makes sense. I'd like Peralta too, but he's not in the lineup.
I can get behind Jake Lamb, and that's about it.
Yep, and there's just a lineup full of righties. So I mean, if that's the case, if we only like Lamb, run it back with Roark. It's not somebody that I think is a great DFS pitcher as far as the strikeouts, but and Arizona's been pretty good this year, so I think on a 15-game slate, he's not really in play.
No, Roark is not the guy I'm targeting, playing. I should say. Herman, that's left-handed, by the way.
He's not even really in the player pool for me.
No, never considered him. But Washington bats all aboard. Toronto and New York. So I'm hearing, not only is a New York stack sounding chalky, but I'm hearing a little bit of Tanaka buzz against this Toronto lineup, who obviously has struggled. They did well against Severino yesterday. What do we say, Mike? What do we say when the players chalk?
Yep, stack against the man.
It was.
So yeah, it was gonna be tough to pick the one-offs that actually went off in that game. So
Joey Bats hit his home run.
He got his That wasn't against Severino, but he did hit his home run. It's Tanaka. He's on regular rest. You look at the stats. Generally means avoid him. He plays much better on 6 days rest, and the Yankees found that out last year and tried to do it as much as possible. He got 12 starts on 6 days rest just because they tried to make it happen, which are probably close to half of his total starts on the season. I think for that reason alone, I don't really want to touch Tanaka. I think you can try and go after him because I've seen him give up the home run in Yankee Stadium a lot. You looking there at all?
Tanaka?
No, picking one-offs against him.
Oh, I have Judge. I have Headley. I like Gardner.
Against Tanaka.
Oh, against Tanaka. My bad. Give me some. I like a 2-3 right here. Batista Martin. Yep. I like Smoke. And then Devon Travis is $2K minimum salary on FanDuel. I can get behind that as well if you're going to bat around. You could do 8-1-2-3. Travis, Pilar, Batista Martin.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think there's definitely going to be a home run hit out of that lineup today against Tanaka. I just kind of feel it. I don't really have any stats. I just kind of feel it. Like you said, I do feel like the Yankees will be somewhat chalk today against Matt Latos. Hasn't been pitching well, and the Yankees have been hitting very well. So you got to look at these lefties. I think Didi and Judge kind of stand out as a nice two-man there. But again, I don't know that it'll be, or even Hicks for that matter, make it 3. That's where I would go if I was going to stack. It'd be Castro to Hicks for the Yanks.
I feel it. I like Gardner. I like Gardner just because he's leading off, and then I like Headley. Not so much on Holiday, but I do like Judge. Carter hasn't really gotten it going yet, so I think I fade him, but I do like D.
Yeah, no. Don't play Carter, guys. He looks terrible. He looks really bad.
Baltimore,
Boston. Goes in the DL, by the way, so he's going to need to get it going.
Truth. Well, I mean, it's not like he's really replacing much.
Yeah, true that. Dude, Greg Bird's reminding me of the old Nick Johnson. where he was just on and off the DL, had one good season. They ended up deciding to give up on him and trade him, and then he just kind of fizzled out of the league.
Yeah, John Hill says no green for the Jays. No, it's definitely contrarian to do it. I'm not. Tanaka is a good pitcher. It's just if I'm hearing his name come out more and more and he becomes chalk, you know my MO. I've already made a full Baltimore-Oakland stack today just because I know Sale and Santana are chalk. So.
Yeah. And again, I don't know that I stack against Sale. I don't mind picking a one-off to double down the fade, but stacking against guys like Sale and Kershaw, I don't really recommend. I think finding one or two guys to play makes more sense.
I don't recommend it at all. It's just in my nature. It's what I do.
I think it's not a very smart approach.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it's a $2 entry. I'll be all right. It's a $2
anyway.
GPP. Why not? All right.
I think you can. I think Machado, I looked like an animal out there yesterday. I was happy to see that. He obviously played with some emotion and, was all over the field.
Adam Jones is going to be pissed off.
Yep, he's going to be pissed off. So I like both of those guys.
Mark Trumbo has had some success for Sale in his career.
Yeah, there's that. I mean,
I'm just saying.
Even if you're thinking about it, I don't really take into consideration the bats that Sale's pitching against as if he's a good player. I'm thinking more on this upside. And Baltimore, if you look at the numbers, strike out a ton versus lefties, swing and miss a ton versus lefties. So some of the best strikeout pitcher in the league against one of the top teams that strike out against righties. I think that makes it for a good play.
By no means is this smart. I'm going to finish dead last, or I'm going to finish in the top 5. So there's really no in between.
But if you're fading Sale, I mean, you still can find a home run. Even if you're playing Sale, you can survive a couple of home runs. Man, we just saw against the Yankees. He put up 30 DraftKings points and lost the game. So.
Just saying, man. Just saying.
I like a Boston stack today. I think against Alec Asher it makes a lot of sense.
Negative. Boston stack is looking heavy favorites at under this implied run total. Vegas has them under 5 runs at 140, minus 140. They're projected to go way up.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's under 5 runs, I think 5 runs is a big implied total. I think I can still stack here against probably one of the worst pitchers on the entire slate. If you don't want to stack, I like Moreland as a one-off to hit a bomb.
Fair enough. I'm not stacking Boston today. Looked at it originally, not going to go there now. But obviously Sale's in play, no doubt about it. Sale's probably the best pitcher on the slate. But some people might be off of him because of what we saw from Kershaw last night. So.
True that.
Cleveland and Detroit. Miggy is back, batting third. Going up against Corey Kluber, high strikeout guy, has potential to get blown up, absolutely. Then you got Justin Verlander, who has not looked the same this year.
Yeah, he started off really well, and then kind of had 2 bad starts in a row now. Isn't it weird, like, Miggy comes back and this lineup just all of a sudden just, like, falls back into place, you know what I mean? It just seems so much more normal. Whereas when he was gone, it was like a different line every day. I'm interested. I don't really find myself, hanging out in this game and looking for plays. What about you?
Same. Not really too much to like here for me. I will say this. So Carlos Santana, at least by the BBP stats I have, 13 hits and 60-something plate appearances. I don't know, it's 76 plate appearances. Of those 13 hits, 7 are home runs.
So he's happy to come to the park today.
Yes. So I think you can look there.
Absolutely.
But
it is Verlander. I mean, which Verlander are we going to see? 48 degrees, too. I don't know.
Yeah, that is really cold. Wind is blowing out, though, so you kind of contrasting.
Yeah.
I don't think I stack Cleveland. Maybe Santana is a one-off. Maybe Lindor, if you want to go 2.
I imagine this game will be pretty low-owned with these implied totals, too.
Truth. Do you look to... I don't think I play Miggy yet. I want to see how he looks first.
Yeah, no. I think Avila's intriguing at catcher. I think Victor Martinez would be, but he's not catcher eligible on DraftKings. But yeah, I like the Santana call a lot. Chisenhall has some power with righties for cheap. I don't know. I'm not in love with much here.
Same. Pittsburgh and Cincy. We have Tyler Glasnow and Scott Feldman. Both of these guys have been able. Well, Glasnow's not really getting blown up. He's not efficient. He's been walking a ton of dudes. And then you have Scott Feldman, who doesn't strike out anyone and gives up some home runs. So.
Yeah, I think there's some hitting in this game, right? In a hitter's park as well. Glasnow, we keep talking about. He's AAA pitcher, getting used to the majors on the fly here. And like you said, you hit the notes on the head with Feldman with the right-handed home runs. I can go back to McCutcheon today. I kind of like Josh Bell, but he hasn't really been showing much. So I'm not going to really go there. And then Votto, seemingly another great one-off today.
I'm on a Votto play. I'm on Duval, and I love Devin Mesoraco today. He's 2,300 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I have him in a lot of lineups as well. This is his fourth game back. I think he sat him last game.
Yep.
So obviously there's small sample size, but there was a lot of hype on him when he first came into the league a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, he just can't. Exactly. So we'll see what happens.
But I like it as a cheap play, especially if you're going to stack. So I have a mini Cincy stack. I like Votto, I like Mesoraco, and I like Duval, like I said. So if you want, you can throw Billy Hamilton in there as well.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that builds off confidence. I think you could definitely go Cincinnati stack today.
Absolutely. And with that, Billy Hamilton is a menace on the base pass right now.
He's going to be one of those guys, man. He's got to have to learn to hit, though, to stay in this league.
He's been doing better. He's been making some contact. He's not trying to do too much.
If he gets to be 280 hitter,
he'd be fine.
He's gold.
Yeah, because his single is a triple.
Exactly.
He doesn't need to do anything. All he needs is a single. Tampa, Miami. So another name I've heard thrown out there today is Edison Volquez. You mentioned that you liked him earlier. I can't get on this play. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not playing Edison Volquez. The reason I said that earlier, I was just looking at strikeout stats. And Tampa strikeout is a top 5 team in strikeouts versus righties, and they swing and miss the most in the league. So that was just a pure looking at the team he's facing and how they match up with strikeouts. But just looking at what he's done this year, you just have to say hell no. You can't even if he's facing the best strikeout team in the league, this guy just has been very erratic. So
I really like Logan Morrison hitting third here, and I'm all for a Dickerson-Morrison stack.
So this is the second game without Longoria. So I guess this is probably what they're going to throw versus righties here.
Yep.
So it's intriguing, man. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of Kiermaier.
Yep,
Morris has huge power. Yeah, I can as well.
And on top of that, I love Tim Beckham, who's still playing well, man. In that 6 hole. I know it's not a conventional stack throwing him down at number 6 if I go Dickerson and Morrison, but Tim Beckham is still cheap as a shortstop. He's been playing really well this year. I think he's having a breakout year. He's doing what people.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Him and Souza Jr., man, are going to seemingly having breakout seasons because both of these guys, highly touted prospects. I think.
Yep.
Both first-round picks, I'm pretty sure. I know Beckham was a number 1 overall pick, and so kind of flown under the radar in the majors. But obviously, if they can break out, we know what their talent level is. So I don't see it as being a fluke.
I don't either.
April for these 2 guys.
Do we look at any Marlins against Alex Cobb?
These guys have not. I think you can make the case for Alex Cobb as like a contrarian play because of how bad these guys have been playing.
Let's look at
looking at like
recent stats.
Looking at like efficiency stats, the Marlins actually walk the least versus righties and see the least amount of pitches per plate appearance. Yeah, which kind of go hand in hand, you know what I'm saying?
Over the last 7 days, 9 walks versus righties in 165 plate appearances. Only a 103 ISO. They're not striking out a ton, only 15%, but a 103 ISO means they are not hitting extra bases at all.
Right, and so this team obviously isn't performing. They're not really seeing many pitches, which adds to DFS points, getting late in the game. So maybe even if this guy doesn't strike out a ton, because Miami hasn't really shown a propency to strike out a ton, but even if he gets through this game without scoring many runs and getting late into the game, it could be a good contrarian play. But again, 15-game slate. There's a lot of other pitchers that I think I rank ahead of Cobb, but something I've looked at as far as stats that are intriguing.
Yeah, not a bad pitcher. Pitches to contact for the most part. Doesn't get a ton of hard contact against him. Low fly ball rate, so not a terrible
exactly. And that's
spark.
That can be good in DFS when you have a guy pitches to contact without hard contact, getting through batters, quickly. Can be good DFS play.
He just needs like 5 or 6 strikeouts. I think if you want to do that, you're looking for 5 or 6 strikeouts.
Exactly.
And I consider that more of a DraftKings play personally than a FanDuel. I think that when you only have one pitcher spot, it's really hard to roster a guy that doesn't get strikeouts.
This is very true. Very, very true.
New York and Atlanta. Game is extremely close, at least according to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Do we go back to a New York stack? They're facing Dickey. Didn't really do too much versus them last time, if I'm not mistaken. And if you look at BVP, because I know this is the one stat, or the one time you look at BVP. So let's look at R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, I mean, it's tempting, right? Going right back to the Mets.
Let's see. So Granderson,
especially Conforto, what he's been doing. He's carrying some of the scratch, wasn't he?
He's out. So you have Jose Reyes hitting 154 against Dickey in 27 plate appearances. Cespedes not playing. Asdrubal Cabrera is not bad, 6 for 18. Neil Walker, terrible, 2 for 14. Jay Bruce actually has hit him really well, 5 for 13 in a limited sample size. Other than that, you don't have a lot of sample size on him. So hard to really...
Go ahead. Also something I see is 4 of those starting players in that lineup haven't faced him at all.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Like Conforto, for example, doesn't have that bad against Dickey. I don't really feel like that's something I want to bet money on.
No,
does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not looking to attack Dickey this year. This game. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I do like Freddie Freeman, of course, and Matt Kemp from Atlanta. Even Inciarte. I think you can go right back to the Brave stack. Matt Harvey struggles versus lefties. I know Matt Kemp's a righty, but still, he fits that stack. So Inciarte, Freeman, and then Kemp to finish that stack.
Yeah, dude. Inciarte continues. That dude is hot as they come right now.
Is there any trade in recent history that's been worse than this trade? They got Inciarte, Dansby Swanson, and someone else for Shelby Miller, who's now out for the year. Again.
Yeah, seriously. That was a very smart move. Very smart move.
So Braves made out like bandits. I mean, their team hasn't really gotten much better, but Swanson.
Arizona made a string of terrible moves, though. Yeah. That GM promptly got fired.
Philly, Chicago, dude. John Lester is not the same pitcher. I'm gonna keep saying it. If I was a betting man, ironic I say that, I would take the over on this Philly total, man. It's really hard to see me
too small.
Not scoring 3 runs versus John Lester.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, man. Wind's blowing out. I mean, temp's a little cold. It's under 50, but I don't know, man. I can get behind some Philly bats today. I love Altier again. Maybe Tommy Joseph found something. Cameron Rupp again. I know he didn't perform as expected yesterday, but I'm not afraid of that. Why is Adam Rosales there? That is wrong.
That is definitely not right. But I don't know, man. The Phillies are starting a little bit of a swag with them too. If you watched any of them,
yeah.
They're one of those teams like the Nets, in basketball. Cool with losing. They're just a bunch of young kids having fun in the majors. Serious. Yeah, it is. Look at Odubel Herrera with his bat flips, and Hernandez is trying to get to third every time he gets on base. Galvis doesn't matter where he hits in the lineup, seemingly playing well this season. Tommy Joseph finally got that first home run, so it's a fun team to watch, I think. I don't know, I think I want to go back to Tommy Joseph again.
I do, so I like Cesar Hernandez leading off. I love that. I love 1-2 right here, Cesar and Altier. And then I can get behind some Joseph and Rupp, dude. That's a cheap stack if you want to play Sale today. I think those are cheap guys you play.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. I don't think people are going to have beyond that against Leicester.
People, yeah, they're still a. I'm not saying Lester's not a bad pitcher. Let's make sure that's clear. He's not a bad pitcher. I just don't think he's the same. I don't think he's elite. I don't think anyone on this Cubs rotation is elite anymore. So, on the flip, though, what about some of these Cubs versus Hellickson, who gives it up to righties in terms of home runs? And lefties, for that matter.
Yeah, 1-3 again. Rizzo being the one I want the most. You make the case for Hayward today.
Wind is blowing out to right, meaning favors lefties as well. So,
yeah. Let's see, do I have anything on Hellickson? Surprisingly, the Cubs have the 5th worst hard contact rate versus righties.
Interesting.
As a team, this season.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising.
But I'm definitely on Rizzo, Hayward. I could lead off with Schwarber. I can be okay with that. And Chris Bryant I like as well. I like even a 2-man of Bryant and Rizzo. I think is a good play.
It's not cheap. I think I'd rather go. Like I picked my expensive 2-man as Harper and
Murphy. Trey Turner.
Turner.
I like Murphy more than Turner today, personally. All right, so Oakland and Minnie. We talked about last time how Irvin Santana was going to get really, really hard to roster. He has hit that 9K threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Too
pitcher.
much.
Good pitcher. No problems with Irvin Santana. However, I don't think he's worth 9K for his K upside. I just don't think that he strikes out enough people to make this a great play. However, if you want to make the case, Oakland is dead last in the league over the last 7 days for his right-handed pitching.
Yes, they are. But that's last 7 days. I don't put too much stock into that. They are 5th over the course of the season, so it's still 2nd in the last 7, 5th over the course of the season versus righties. So yeah, this is seemingly a good matchup for Santana to strike people out. Santana is also on 7 days of rest since they had a rain out or something. Weather, yep. Yeah. He's on 7 days rest right now. I don't know if that affects. It could be positive or negative. With a veteran like him, I imagine it doesn't really matter.
It can affect some guys though. You get out of
absolutely rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm on like I mentioned earlier, man. I'm on an A stack. I am. I think Santana is not chalk that I want to pay for today. Not at 9.2K. So for that reason, I think if people don't want to pay for sale, they're going to go to Paxton or Santana. So give me Chris Davis, give me Ryan Healy, give me Stephen Vogt, and you can throw in Adam Rosales.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I'm not one to really stack against a pitcher that I think is in a good spot, but I do like Chris Davis. I do like Ryan Healy and Alonso. I'm not really on to Vogt right now just because he's been struggling. He's obviously dropped in the lineup since the start of the season. He's just not been playing well, so I don't think I'm going to go Vogt today, but I'm all over Davis, and if I can't get to him, I think I'm going to go like either Matt Joyce or Yonder Alonso.
What are your thoughts on Sonny Gray today?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect out of him. Obviously, first start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously was a great pitcher 2 years ago.
Right, but it's just because you don't know what to expect. It makes me want to avoid it,
Whether there's a pitch count, all sorts of factors playing in. So I agree. I was looking at him from a GPP perspective.
Right.
He's even more expensive than Tyler Chatwood and Matt Moore, so I'm going to fade him and just go with the guys I was looking at. So.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely could be contrarian, obviously, going up against Santana.
With that said, I do like a twin stack, and I do think it could be somewhat chalky. It's being talked about. Is Dozier, Kepler, Sano.
Yeah, definitely. Especially Kepler and Sano, I think, from what I've heard. So I get behind both those plays, but I'm not in love with it. I'd rather go with the top 3 in Tampa.
What about Texas and Houston? This is a stack that I have not heard much of, actually, is Texas today. And
Yeah,
I think
I like Texas.
I think they're in a great spot against Mike Fiers in Houston. The dome is going to be open, so you have nice temperature, 81 degrees, great hitting conditions.
I agree. I think a little wrap round looks good today.
Mazzara, Lucroy, DeShields, Gomez. Are you looking at Chu?
Yeah.
Who are you looking at?
Chu, maybe. I don't know. I nothing's standing out as where to stack here, but I just know you can attack Fiers, especially if you look at the WOBA. Looks like he's higher versus righties, actually. So it's seeming like it doesn't really matter where you're at the plate. It's moving slow enough and without enough arm angle to doesn't really matter with lefty-righty splits with him,
Yeah, I'm on DeShields today. I like, Mazzara's cold, right? And it's reflected in the fact that he is all the way down at 8.
Same with Lucroy.
Same with Lucroy at 9, yeah. I can get behind some Gallo at 3rd. I can get behind Odor, batting cleanup. I can get behind, obviously, I'm not really on Chu, but I like DeShields, Gomez, Odor, and Gallo. I think that would be my stack today.
Mm-hmm. Didn't Knapp hit a home run yesterday?
Yeah.
So maybe there's something in there.
What's
but
Gallo's
yeah,
price?
I totally.
Gallo's 3,500. Okay, it's not terrible.
I don't know where he's at.
What's Odor's price? Odor's 3,300. Yeah, it's really not an expensive stack. If you go to Shields leading off at 2,700, you have Odor at 33 and Gallo at 35. At least on FanDuel, it's not a terrible stack. It's not expensive, I should say.
35 for Gallo on DraftKings. So same price on DraftKings. 41 for Sano. Just to put that in perspective, seems pretty fair.
What about some of these right-handed bets versus Hamels? I know that obviously Cole Hamels is Cole Hamels, but I think you can attack him. I think you can look at Springer. I think you look at Altuve. There's only one left-handed bat in this entire lineup today for Houston, and that's Marwin Gonzalez. But I like 1 through 4, or I like you skip Beltran and just go Springer, Altuve, Correa, Gaddis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you were thinking about rostering Hamels, he's in that same price range as, I don't know, Paxton and Santana, I guess. So another surprising stat, just like I said with the Cubs, Houston is actually top in the league, I guess worst in the league at hard contact versus lefties. Meaning they hit the ball the softest. So there's that. It doesn't really put me on to Hamels because he hasn't been striking people out, and Houston doesn't generally strike out much.
Does this surprise you that Houston is so heavy favorited with Mike Fiers on the hill? That kind of tells me.
Yeah, against
Houston.
Hamels?
Yeah, that kind of tells me to stack Houston.
Definitely.
Because Mike Fiers is not someone I would bet on winning versus, like straight up with Cole Hamels. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Springer just leading off. I guess he's been playing okay. He's kind of picked it back up a little bit. So I could go there and him and Altuve. I don't know, Correa though. It's kind of hard to pay his price right now.
What's Correa? Correa's only 3,600 on FanDuel though. That's not expensive compared to some of the other guys.
I don't know. Yeah, I could get behind a Houston stack. It's not cheap on DraftKings by any means.
All right. Milwaukee, St. Louis. Marwin Gonzalez is a switch hitter. Is he really? What's up, Chris? Why did I feel like Marwin Gonzalez is a lefty? If I am wrong, he is in fact a switch hitter. Good call. Bam. Well, then you have all righties.
Makes sense why he was platoon today.
Yep. Okay, so Milwaukee and St. Louis. The obvious talk of this game is Matt Carpenter's BVP versus Willie Peralta. He absolutely owns him. 5 home runs in his career, if I'm not mistaken. I think Matt Carpenter is mad chalk. You have Jed Gallardo. I think St. Louis stack is looking kind of chalky with Diaz, Carpenter, Gallardo. And then Carlos Martinez.
Cheap stack.
Yeah, it is. And Carlos Martinez against his Brewers team, who's not been doing too well, without Ryan Braun to boot.
Yep, Carlos Martinez is definitely a GPP play today that I could get behind. Strikeout numbers indicate that this is a positive matchup for a strikeout pitcher. Obviously, he does walk a ton as well, so you have to eat those. But strikeout pitchers can survive walks a lot better than contact pitchers. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm not really playing any Martinez, but he was definitely on my radar today.
Same. Don't have any Martinez in my lineup. I find myself paying down for pitching today. All my pitchers are cheap, or below 8K on FanDuel, at least I should say.
Now he's fairly priced. I think you're looking at, there's like a nice little range here of pitchers on DraftKings that I think are kind of a way to go. And you got Paxton, Quintana, Hamels, Martinez, all four in pretty much the same price. I imagine the ownership's going to go Paxton, and then I don't know that if any one of those other three guys, Quintana, Hamels, and Martinez, is going to see 10% ownership, just because Paxton's the same price as all of them.
Yeah, I think Paxton's chalky today. I'm hearing it everywhere. So
yeah, I think Martinez is if you want a K upside, I think Martinez is the pivot off Paxton. Although Quintana is intriguing as well against Kansas City, you cannot hit. They don't strike out much, but they also are not hitting. And
Quintana just balled out against them. Struck out quite a few as well. I think he had 10 strikeouts, yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't gone late in the games at all this season. He's not even in that game. So it could be like a organizational thing with him, since they are trying to preserve him, whether it be for their future or for another team. Just something to think about with Quintana.
Okay, so Quintana, we're right at the game. Quintana and Danny Duffy today. Same matchup we had last week, I believe, unless, yeah, it was. Where are you looking? No Moustakas today, and no Alex Gordon, so they're trying to get the lefties out of the lineup versus Quintana.
Yep, Hosmer finally hit a bomb. Maybe that wakes him up. Whit Merrifield leading off is intriguing, I think. He's obviously someone that's becoming good favor with this ownership, if he's going to lead off after performing well the last few weeks. Although I like Quintana, again, like I mentioned, if you look at ISO and all the power numbers for Kansas City over the course of the season, it's near the bottom of the barrel versus lefties. I think that actually is the bottom of the barrel. If you look at it, they're last in WOBA versus lefties this season. So, not that I really factor the power stats too much when I'm thinking about rostering a pitcher, but in the case of looking at the Royals, they're facing a lefty. They struggle against lefties. It just makes me want to avoid it completely. Two second basemen here are cheap and both intriguing, with Whit Merrifield and Yolmer Sanchez, both at the top of these orders. Those are the two cheap second basemen that I'm on today.
Interesting. Not so much on Whit myself, but I'm...
Again, super cheap.
The only guy I look at from Kansas City is Jorge Bonifacio. That's the guy that I've been watching him a little bit. I like his game. As far as Chicago is concerned, I can go right back to Abreu and Frazier, and then even Avisel Garcia, Soto, if you want to go there. I think the two that I look at are Abreu and Frazier personally, but I'm not opposed to that 4, 5, 6, 7 stack.
Yeah, I like the Abreu call as well.
All right, San Francisco and Los Angeles. The Mighty Giants defeated the not-so-great Clayton Kershaw last night. He was in playoff form.
Makes you say that.
Because he doesn't win the playoffs.
Because he didn't win? Nice. Yeah, no, that worked out well for me, too. So I'm excited about the Giants doing that for us. Yay for you guys. Alex Wood, Matt Moore, two lefties on this slate I think you could go after today. Obviously, San Francisco against lefties is not fun so far this season, or it looks like
Alex Wood
much over the last few.
Yeah, Alex Wood
so I don't really even know if I'm going in this game against San Fran. I think Grandal is in play against Matt Moore. I don't know where else I'm going to go there, though. I think maybe him and Puig as a two-man.
I don't think I stacked Dodgers against Matt Moore because I actually like Moore as a play today. So, personally going to be off of him.
Why do you like Moore today?
Dodgers versus lefties, hitting 200, under 200 over the last 7 days versus them. Big surprise. Dodgers can't hit lefties. Matt Moore can get a decent amount of strikeouts. He's under 8K. I can get behind the call.
All right, yeah, I like it. I like it. I think.
Let's look at Dodger stats versus lefties over the last 7 days.
I like it. Definitely could be contrarian. I think kind of in that same realm on DraftKings as Alex Cobb, like we talked about. Where facing a team that
Look at these two teams. They're literally identical.
Plays to his stats.
They're literally identical versus the last 7 days versus lefties. Giants have a .056 ISO. Dodgers have a .059. Giants have a 235 WOBA. Dodgers have a 234. 197, 196 average. Both these teams suck versus lefties. You could make this a pitcher's duel and go both guys, but I like a little more.
Yeah. I just don't know how much the strikeout upside is really there. I mean, again, you don't get penalized for hits. So even if he does give up some hits, you're going to need the strikeouts to get the money.
So that's where I go. I'm not attacking any batters in this game. Staying off them completely.
Yeah, I'm kind of off both sides, pitchers and batters.
LA and Seattle. A little colder game, under 60 degrees, not a lot of wind. James Paxton doesn't give up a ton of home runs. Obviously, his struggle is versus lefties, and there's only 2 in this entire lineup, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think Paxton is a good play today. I'm not opposed to it at all. There's a reason he's chalk. On the flip,
yeah,
I like some of these Seattle bats, man. I'm all aboard some Taylor Motter today. I like Robbie Cano. I like Nelson Cruz. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, again, another pitcher that I don't want to play because of the chalk, just because there's not a really large sample size with him being great like he's shown this season. So there's always going to be that one game. Just like we saw Severino. Yeah, he's been great this whole season, but there's going to be games where he's not. We've already seen it for Paxton so far this year, where he's had a game where he was just not good at all. So I don't really feel like if he's going to be high owned, I want to even take that chance. There's just plenty of other pitchers on the slate that can get close to what he can get put up, in my opinion. Then again, I like him enough not to stack against him. Like I said before, I think playing tournament perspective, you can definitely one off here. I think Mike Trout is a great play today. He's going to be super low owned. He's MVP. So I don't mind. That's what I'm thinking. If I'm going one off, might as well go with
Trout.
Mr. Trout.
Yeah, he's the only guy I look at as well. And then finally, Colorado, San Diego. Another game I think that's going to be a pitcher's duel. I really, really like Tyler Chatwood tonight, man. I mentioned him earlier. This is the guy I'm running in 75% of my lineups. I got 4. He's in 3 of them. The only other one is Matt Moore. So I'm all aboard some Tyler Chatwood. The Padres versus right-handed pitching, Mike, have struck out 31% of their plate appearances over the last 7 days.
Yeah. Chatwood is the play.
No team is above 30 besides the Padres.
Chatwood's the play today, guys. Strikeout percentage versus righties over the course of the season, they are top of the last 7 days, like you mentioned. Second in the league in swinging strike rate. Third in walk rate versus righties, and they see the least amount of pitches. All of those are plus DFS signs to play Chatwood. Yep. He's also a ground ball pitcher.
In a pitcher's park.
So.
Josh says that everyone's on Cahill today. Give me some more Chatwood then, man. I don't think Cahill's a bad play at all. He has more K upside in my opinion, at least based on his pitch arsenal. But Rockies are still the Rockies, man. I know they haven't been great away from Coors or great at all this year, but
the Rockies.
It's hard for me to attack the Rockies when I can attack the Padres instead.
The Rockies have some intriguing numbers when the lefty's on the mound. If you had a good lefty on the mound versus the Rockies, I like attacking them, but I don't really attack the Rockies with a righty.
Yeah,
especially if Trevor Cahill.
Chatwood over Cahill, yes. Again,
absolutely.
Rockies hit righties better than they do lefties. Mike was spot on with that. Even their right-handed bats, Nolan Arenado, hits righties better than lefties. So,
but they also don't hit their strikeout numbers for lefties is pretty tops in the leagues too. So they not only do they not hit lefties, they're pretty bad against lefties. So, all these numbers here, if they're that bad against lefties at striking out or plate discipline, when you got a righty on the mound in a pitcher's park, I don't know that I really can get behind Trevor Cahill, man. I'd much rather play Tyler Chatwood against all the numbers point to Chatwood today.
Same.
As far as
yep. I'm all aboard Chatwood. So that is my pitcher. I don't have any Sale tonight. I don't have any Paxton, and I have 0 Santana. So that's just how I play.
Yep.
I hear chalk and automatic fade for me most of the time.
Yeah. On FanDuel, I'm going all Chatwood. On DraftKings, I made Sale and Chatwood work in all my lineups.
Nice. Okay, so to recap, I got about 10 minutes before I got to head out. So give me your 3 top pitchers again. Let's hit them again today.
All right, man, let's do it. I'm going Sale, Martinez, and Chatwood.
Sale, Martinez, Chatwood. Okay. I'm all aboard Sale. I can get behind it, just not playing it. Give me Matt Moore and Tyler Chatwood. So.
Cool.
All right, give me your stacks.
Oh man, I don't have those written down. Hold on. You go first.
Okay. My favorite stacks are going to be the Nationals, of course. I don't think there's any surprise there. I think they're still a good play. Taijuan Walker can give up some home runs. I really like a Philly stack again today. I think that's going to be different. I don't know how many people go back to it. And I have talked myself onto a Houston Astros stack against Cole Hamels. I don't know how high owned that'll be, but seeing that they are favored, that all their right-handed bats in the lineup, I'm on it, man.
All right, so I'm going to go Cincinnati. I'm going to go Votto to Suarez.
Okay.
And like we said, we like Devin Mesoraco as well. I like Washington, but just to give something different, I like the top 3 in Tampa, those 3 lefties, Dickerson, Kiermaier, and Morrison. Going against Volquez, I like that stack as well. And then, again, I like Boston. I think going up against Asher, I'm going to go there, and I like Moreland, Pedroia, and JBJ. That's 5, 6, 7 in that order. Obviously, you can play top guys as well, but yeah. And obviously, I'm on Washington. I got Washington in my lineups.
Yeah, all Washington. A lot of Washington for me. All right. Chatwood, Quintana together.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. Quintana obviously did well. KC's trying everything, man. They just got rid of all. They literally have one left-handed bat in the lineup, and that's Eric Hosmer, if I'm not mistaken.
I imagine some trades are going to be getting made. I saw some speculation on Lorenzo Cain going to Washington since Eaton went down.
Interesting. I would be all for that. Okay, so what about Wilson Contreras? Daily Fantasy asked about Wilson Contreras. Thoughts?
When you put him in the same pool, I don't know that he fits a Cubs stack where he's at in the order. I guess he could. I think Zobrist is intriguing, and I think I'd want him in that stack. But if you look at the pool, he's definitely in my pool of catchers. But there's guys I like more. I don't know. I like Grandal a little bit more. I talked about Avila, Mesoraco, Soto. I think those are guys I like more than Contreras. Just for the price. I like the punt catcher, as we talk about enough.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Chicago.
Casey will score at least 6 tonight. All right. Interesting. Cincinnati stack for Courtney Parker. I can get behind that. That's fine as long as they do after the 6th inning.
I like Cincinnati too.
Courtney is scratching his head on Tyler Chatwood. Why him? Strikeout potential, man. Padres strike out more than any team in the league.
Over the last 7 days and over the course of the season, they swing and miss the second most in the league. They walk the third least, and they see the fewest amount of pitches per plate appearance, which means that it helps a guy get later into a ball game if a team's striking out and seeing the fewest amount of pitches. Those two generally don't go hand in hand.
3 strikes and you're out, man, and 3 pitches.
Those two generally don't go hand in hand. So when you see that, it's kind of intriguing, and that's versus righties. That's all those numbers are versus righties.
Yeah. Nathan asked, "Do we like Benintendi?" I can get behind some Benintendi. I'm not huge on a Boston stack personally. Jackie Bradley Jr. Someone asked about him. Same thing.
Yeah.
Just not really high on a Boston stack today.
Yeah, again, that's where it's weird I'm saying it, obviously. I said it today. I think you can find a home run on Toronto against the Yankees and to stack Boston. So one of those slates for me, as a Yankee fan, it's kind of tough. I don't know. I think you can go. I like Moreland the best. I like Jackie Bradley Jr. as well. Lefty-righty matchup. And then I don't know. Pedroia's right in the middle. I can get behind it. That stack there.
Give me your SP2 other than Chatwood, Matt Moore.
Me?
I say Matt Moore, but
like a cheap guy?
I don't know. You just said SP2, so whatever that means.
Yeah. Usually. It's probably. So are you thinking about playing Chatwood and someone else? Or it's like to pivot off of Chatwood, I guess?
Probably doesn't
would be the
Chatwood.
question. I would go Alex Cobb. That's me. They're right around the same price. I'm talking about Matt Moore is a lot more expensive than Chatwood, almost $1,400.
Okay. Jose says don't neglect Miller in the Tampa Bay stacks. Chris says Adam Jones is going to do his thing tonight. Yeah, dude. I told you. I think all Baltimore is going to be interesting, man. I think I have a stack with Baltimore in it against Chris Sale, so it's going to be interesting. Eric Ibar, no thank you.
I can see Adam Jones hit a bomb tonight, dude.
Yeah.
Just like I played Machado yesterday, just for both those players can. If this game means more than the other 162 games, give me that guy.
That guy.
Whenever they come to the ballpark ready to play.
No fair, man. Fair.
I'm thinking about switching Turner for Murphy so I can play. Who was I thinking about playing at shortstop? Who did you mention earlier at shortstop that you were on? You said Taylor Motter, right?
Taylor Motter, yeah, all the Taylor Motter tonight, man. I have Trey Turner on one line, Taylor Motter everywhere else.
Yeah, I'm thinking about trade because I saved some money by going to Murphy and Harper instead of Turner and Harper, and by playing him, Motter, that is, he's pretty cheap.
Yeah. So
I might do that. I'm still working on my lineups a bit, but that's kind of where I'm at. I like Boston, I like Cincy, and I like the two-man. A two-man in Washington because if I'm playing Sale, I can't really full stack.
That's fair. Philly 6-7-8. Yep. White Sox stack and Philly stack. What do you think? I'm not full on a White Sox stack. I can see Abreu, Frazier. Is Motter confirmed? No, Motter's not confirmed, but if he plays, I'm all over him. I'll make the switch if he's not. We should get those lineups in the next hour. I'm stuck at shortstop. Yeah, that's Motter. Josh, he'll have him.
Tim Beckham is cheap. He is a cheap guy. Freddie Galvis fits that stack that you were just talking about at shortstop for cheap. Lefty-righty splits as well. Shortstop, you got Didi and Judge playing next to each other in the order. Didi has got a lefty-righty matchup as well and been playing well.
Yeah.
So those are some shortstops, I guess, to throw in a player pool. Gene Segura, anybody? I mean,
I'm not on him personally, but I don't hate the play. So
I could get behind that. Obviously, it's another $1,000 up for Motter, so paying for it.
all right. Well, I have to get going. Have class, unfortunately. Only got 2 or 3 more weeks, so we're almost done. But thank you guys again. We'll be in Slack. Mike will answer any other questions.
That's right. I'll be building some lineups.
So we will talk to you guys in Slack. As always, follow us on Twitter. Theo will answer any questions you have on there. You get any updates. You get lineups as soon as they're released. Everything. And, of course, if you want to join the community further, hit that link down below. And we'll welcome you into Slack, get you everything you need. And we are working on an advanced pitcher statistic formula right now for you guys as well, getting together.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we're having some heavy debates on how we want to work it, because Mike and I differ on how we pick pitchers. But obviously both methods have been working, so we're gonna find something, get it out to you guys. We just want to make sure it is the best product. We don't want to lead you in the wrong direction. So,
and not only that, but like easy to understand. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
we're trying to eliminate all the stats we don't think make sense and only include stats that we think are directly correlated to DFS pitchers. Exactly. So that you just look at it, you can see the stats that make sense. You have to sort through a bunch, and we're working on it.
So, all right, guys, we'll have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you in Slack. If you're not in there, we'll talk to you on Twitter or tomorrow. So have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you.